Welcome back, Michael LaFido. Welcome to another episode of the Luxury Specialist podcast, along with our Luxury Fridays Thursday edition. As we come to you live today, a couple things. We have a special guest I'm going to be bringing on here shortly, but just a reminder, you are in the right place. If you're an agent, you're a team leader, you're a broker owner, whether you're based here in North America or somewhere else, there's going to be something for you, something to take away. Those of you that are listening to a replay, if you're watching this on Instagram, again, feel free to ask any questions, any follow-up questions for our guests. You can shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. Our new hashtag, if you will, is youtube.com/@luxury specialist. If you do have a YouTube channel and you're not aware of that, YouTube just the first week of November released a handle, so you can secure your handle today. Go to youtube.com and secure your YouTube handle. All right. Before I bring on my guest, as I'm shooting this, I just got back from Miami, spoke at their international conference. The Miami Association of Realtors is the largest association out there. Second is Houston. So the Miami Association of Realtors is the largest. And literally, I had the great fortune of sharing the same stage as the mayor of Miami. And he talked about why Miami's business and their economy grew by 12% over the last year because of several reasons: low taxes and great environment, and just a healthy overall business place to do business has helped them. But I also shared the stage with NAR's chief economist, Lawrence Yun, and I will be sharing on today's show and future shows some of his predictions into 2023 and beyond with the economy. So that is something that we want to remind you. Don't forget our live in-person luxury designations. You can go to our website, Luxury Listing Specialist, and take a look at the Where's Michael Speaking Next upcoming events. Click on the upcoming events and you can see where I'm presenting next. When we're recording this, we're going to be in 5 days in Houston for my final luxury designation training for 2022. We're excited about that event, and we have some really cool events in 2023 that yet to be announced, including possibly Dubai in February. So we're excited about that. As always, if you have any questions, shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. And I beat the storm home. I was literally in Miami as the tropical storm / hurricane Nicole was on its way, and I had to switch an in-person training for the Miami Association of Realtors to a Zoom, and we got back in time there, and heading back down to Orlando here shortly. So, all right. So from time to time, we bring on various guests on our podcast that help fill voids in the industry, or perhaps are strategic partners that can help you as a team leader, as an individual agent, as a broker, perhaps. And today's no different. I had the good fortune of meeting today's guest probably about 7 months ago now. She's been licensed going into her 7th year, in her first 5-6 years in the business. As she likes to say, she's sold anything and everything, and she kind of had a magnet towards trailer houses, and her average price point has continued to increase. And so I want to bring on our guest today, coming to you from Texas, Tammy Manning. Tammy, how are you?
I'm good, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks so much for joining us. And specifically in Texas, let everybody know where is home for you and which areas you serve.
Yeah, so I'm positioned very strategically for the last 51 years on Lake LBJ. So we're in a little small town, Kingsland, Texas, about 6,000 people. And I do from Austin north to Mason. So we're very rural, so we carry a lot of miles. Anyway.
Have car will travel.
That's right. Have car will travel. I met you in Fredericksburg. We go to Fredericksburg as well. Y'all, a lot of people in the city sit in traffic for hours. We just drive country roads for hours.
Hey, so yes, for those of you who are tuning in, Tammy and I, she attended a training. I had a training just outside of San Antonio. They call it the Hill Country, the wine country of Texas, Fredericksburg, Texas. If you've
Yes.
never visited, I highly recommend it. It was a great venue, a fun event. And you and your husband have since just launched a team in the last month, but really individual agents.
Yeah.
And so set the stage for everybody. You and I talked a little bit offline, and in 2020, your average sale price is around 400, and probably before that a little bit less. And then last year, you increased it from 400 to around 600. And where are you trending today as we do this recording in 2022? You had shared with me your average sale price is going to be around what this year?
My average sales price this year is around 1 million.
Around 1 million. So from 600,000 to a million in a year, that's tremendous growth. And tell everybody a little bit about what switched. You talked about flipping a switch from attending our training, and tell everybody a little bit about what that switch looked like, and was it mindset, was it philosophy, and how you adapted that change.
Okay, so pre-COVID, I had decided that I was going to break into the $1 million market. And in my area, that's very tough to do. Like, it's very hard to get into that. The ones that are there, they're going to die there, And like I said, I was a magnet for everybody that had trailer house wanted me to sell, and I was selling all price points. And then I kept researching and studying and studying and studying. And I attended one of our broker meetings, and you were the guest speaker. And you said, next week we're going to be over in Fredericksburg, Texas. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, it was February. That's 35 miles for me, the speed limit I drive. 35 minutes, I can get over there. And so I registered immediately, and I drug Wayne with me because he is an agent, but he's kind of like my assistant, and I needed him to grab onto this mindset too. And I needed something that was different than what the standard was doing here. I am wonderful with social media and stuff, but there needed to be more to it. So if you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but it was an ice storm the first day of our luxury. We drove, we didn't know how we were going to make it. And we left very early, drove in the ice, and Texas doesn't have ice a lot of times, in the hill country, and made it to your training, which just gave me confidence. I think it gave me confidence than what I knew to do. And you gave so many other exciting ideas that we just grabbed onto and ran with. And returning back to our jobs, just started implementing small some of the things that you said. We did our first lifestyle video on a $2.5 million house, and it was under contract in 2 weeks. Got for a cash offer at 2.4 million, and I attributed that to the lifestyle video. And I'll never forget, people, the photographer. I mean, I got the best photographers in the area. I put a lot of money into this one. And he didn't want to do a lifestyle video. He said, I'm sorry, I got somewhere to be. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I paid for 2 hours. And I wasn't budging. And he was like, okay, let's do it. And the social media video that he did for the lifestyle video it gave the narrative that in writing nobody could give, and it set that stage for that house. And we sold it in 30 days, cash offer.
Wow. That's amazing. And so what has that lifestyle video sold in 2 weeks, but what has that done? Has that opened up any more business for you? How have you leveraged that video?
It has. I have it all over social media. The people that own the house gave me permission to continue to use that. So I use it this is our strategic marketing plan that is online. And when I go to visit with people, I'm able to show them these supplements that we utilize in our advertising. And just the fact we're willing to have fun, it's really opened us up to. I was, prior to this year, I was more of a buyer's agent in the $1 million market. What has shifted is I'm more of a listing agent now. I was counting up, I've got 1, 2, 3, I have 4 luxury listings right now. The 4 of them are equaling 9.11 million.
Wow. Wow.
And last year we sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We sold 5, and it was 6.765 million out of those 5.
Okay, that's great. So stepping back, you were determined. I remember there was an ice storm because we had some people shift to virtual, and including the Houston Association of Realtors and Rita Klein Blevins, who is going to be hosting our designation training next week as we're filming, and we're recording this November 15th. We're going to be in Houston in the Galleria, and we're excited about that. But yes, there was an ice storm, and when we think ice storms in the Midwest, we think ice storms, but a little ice down there because you guys don't have the salt trucks, you don't have the equipment, you have nothing. So it is there's a lot more accidents in your minimal ice storms than there are in big ice storms here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So so right now, we say Tony Robbins says success leaves clues, and so I'm a big believer that there's some kind of prospecting or lead gen, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. Like what you talked a little bit about mindset, but before we do that, tell me a little bit about daily rituals and what does a day look like to you, and how do you attribute having a daily system, if you will, to your success, and what does that look like?
Yeah, so we start with my team, and I say my team, they're not actually on my team, and I'm not making money from them. It's just my tribe. We start every morning at 8:45 with a 15-minute accountability call. So we're all talking about what is our 2 intentional, what are we commitments that we're going to do that day, 1 business, 1 personal. And we're also having to answer to what did we do the day before. And if we didn't do what we said we were going to do, we have to explain why to our group. And that has really helped all of us stay very intentional on what, because you can get caught in a rabbit trail in this business. And before you know it, the day's over and you've done nothing. And so we're really intentional. We hold each other accountable. Then I fill out part of time blocking.
So let's pause right there because I don't want to minimize that. So if you and I are in this tribe, you and I are accountability partners along with others. You simply will say, or I would say, hey, in my personal life today, my goal is blank. Pray with my wife or whatever it might be. And my business goal for today is, follow up on those eight leads that came through from my last mailer. And then yesterday's goal, I accomplished them or whatever. I talk about yesterday first or at the end. How do you handle it?
So we'll start out, and I'll tell you, it's not goals. A goal is movable. A commitment is not movable. Your yes is yes. So I would say this morning, this is how I went this morning. Hey guys, I finished my commitments yesterday. All of them got accomplished. Today, my commitment is I'm about to head out, and this was today's. I'm going to show a $1.99 million house and try to get them under contract because this is the 6th house we've looked at, and this is their house. And my personal commitment is I am picking up some friends at 2 o'clock, and I've got to get work done because we're heading to Hobby Lobby to start buying Christmas wreaths.
Oh, great.
And then I have to complete that commitment. And I have to show up the next day and tell them I completed my commitment. And if I didn't complete my commitment, why did it not get completed? And what can I change in my business and what I do every day that my yes is my yes to my team?
All right. So if you didn't, let's talk about that. If you did not, let's role play that. If you did not fulfill your commitment, is there interaction from the other people on the call, or is it just I didn't?
Yeah. So let's say I show up tomorrow and say, all right, guys, I had something come up. I wasn't able to show that house the way I said I was going to. They'd be like, whoa, hold on. Why not? Tell me why. And I have to say, why? Well, I just got too busy. I time blocked inappropriately. It didn't work out. And then I've got to say what I'm going to do to change it. So, what I'm going to do to change it is maybe I need to back off some of the other stuff I'm doing in my business, and I need to make these things a priority.
Okay. Wow, that's good. That's good. So commitment, not goals, commitment. You hear the difference in the languaging. Okay, in the languaging. Last week I went to a men's Christian retreat weekend, and they talked about languaging as well. If you were soft on something, they would correct you. If you talked about, the others, or hey, we, no, who, you, like, in other words, you, Tammy. It's not, it's not somebody else. You got to own it, right? So, the commitment, personal, business, and how, and if you stuck with your commitments yesterday. So that's great. Thank
Yeah,
you for
and
sharing that.
something else about that, Michael, is let's say you came and you said, today I'm going to call 3 people. Well, this is a shifting market. I'm sorry, you're going to be poor if you're only calling 3 people. So I might challenge you and go, you know what, that's a really good commitment, but how hard would it be for you to call 10 people? Could you accomplish that for me today instead of 3? So it's also, we encourage each other to kind of up the bar a little
Mm,
bit.
mhm.
And maybe if someone says, I'm making phone calls and it's not working for me, okay, send 10 video text messages today. So we help grow everybody and set the bar a little bit higher to really, and sometimes somebody will say, I just don't know what to do. My phone's not ringing. And the whole team jumps in and says, what if you did this? What if you did this?
Wow.
And so it's a 15-minute call. Sometimes we'll go a little bit longer with some education that's needed, but a lot of times we just get in there, get it going, and then boom, hut, we're out for the day.
In your experience, how many people on that call or in that group is too many? In other words, it's just you can't get it done in 15 minutes, or too small?
It's too small. I like it when the whole team shows up. When there's just one-on-one, you're just like, okay, where's everybody else at?
Mhm,
Too many, it goes, if you got your commitments ready, it moves fast.
mhm.
So I've been on one before in another group that had 50 people on it. And it moves fast because it's not a time to tell stories and stuff. It's not,
Right.
it's very intentional, and you just keep it moving along.
Nice. Nice. Great. All right. So you started to continue on, and I wanted to pause you on the commitment discussion. What else does your day look like?
Yeah, so I time block. I'm good at time blocking. When I don't time block, I just don't get things completed. But I typically do like 6 to 7 tasks that are a priority that I need to get done, making the ones I don't want to do the first ones of the day. So your day gets better as it goes, and then you can add more to it, but trying to complete out those tasks.
Time blocking, and what Tammy mentioned is, eating the frog is a term that's
Yeah.
used, and there's franchise out there, workout franchise, kind of like Orange Theory, that eat the frog, taking care of the thing that you're least looking forward to, or maybe you're
Mhm.
not as good at, taking care of that first, so that you can kind of sigh relief and really do the other things. Because, if
Yes.
you take care of the things that you're looking forward to first, then that cloud, that 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 commitment, the thing, that the prospect and the lead gen, the having that difficult call, is going to just weigh on your shoulders, and you might not get around to it.
Right.
So good. Anything else that you'd like to add?
No, just have
Okay.
grace on yourself. Like we try to make this, I think we try to make real estate too complicated. It's not that complicated. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone. Don't be afraid to have conversations with people. It's a relationship building industry. You're all about making relationships.
Yeah, that's great. I appreciate that. You're absolutely right. And we just released another podcast today. If you guys haven't been listening to some previous episodes, we just released episode 214 at the time of this, and that was Matthew Ferrara. Some really good. He worked on mindset and goal setting, which was, I think, really, really important. As 2023 is staring us down, and we just got done with the midterms, et cetera. So, mindset is really important. I appreciate you sharing with us your time blocking, and then your commitments, your 2 commitments a day, and how you did on your commitment versus yesterday. So let's talk a little bit, going back to this topic of you increased your average sale price from 400 to 600 to $1 million. And you shared with me, this is your words, not mine, you would show and you would sell anything and everything.
Yeah.
And then you went through our course and we talked about becoming a specialist and being niche marketing, and talk to me a little bit about how that shift occurred for you personally, and what are you doing today to really focus on a specific niche.
Yeah, so I think how that shift kind of focused was my online presence, that I made it shift there. And then every October, I work on my marketing. Not October, it's usually November. That's the slowest month for us. I started working on my marketing for the next year and really started going to talking to agents that had big listings and saying, hey, do you mind if I advertise your listing online? And they're like, go for it, and gave them credit for it. But yet, I kind of became, like I'm looking to see what's actually on the market. So, and then we went into that crazy time, Michael, if you remember, where the market was just insane. And I started searching. I had buyers, and I started searching for things off market. I started calling people, asking, "Are you ready to sell?" I sold 2 off markets. Actually, in the last year, I didn't have that in my numbers. I had one more off market that I went searching for the people to find a house to sell to them. And that was nice. That was really nice.
How are you getting their numbers? Did you have a relationship with these people?
So it's a small town. So in these 2 instances, I did have a relationship with those
Okay.
people. I knew that they had been thinking about selling. And so when I had a buyer, I just went straight to them and said, you want to sell? I got a buyer. It's cash. Let's go with it. That kind of thing.
And if I was that seller, are you approaching me and just saying, hey, are you asking for a full commission or just a buy side?
Actually, on both of those, it was a reduced commission. So
Okay.
it was something the seller actually, I said, what are you willing to pay?
Yeah.
And let's discuss that. And it was more than our standard percent if I was just on the buy side, but less than the full both sides.
That's great. So what are you willing to pay is a question she asked, because so many times we shortchange ourselves and
Right.
we just go for the buy side, where you're solving a problem for them. You're making their life easier. They don't have to trudge in a bunch of buyers, unqualified buyers agents, clean up the house. You're giving them a solution on a silver platter. And in my experience, in my opinion, that should be a premium more so than a traditional
Yeah.
co-op. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
And are you doing any prospecting, or is it just
Oh, definitely. Always prospecting.
Mhm.
Lead generation is part of my everyday routine. I try to at least touch 5 to 10 people, depending on the day. And so it's just one of the things that I tell my team, and I believe strongly in, is, first off, is be a part of your community. Be willing to give back to the community in any way that makes your community better. So people know who I am, and they know that I sell real estate, and that's very much in their face all the time. But also intentionally, I do mail outs, I do ads, I go and visit people. I make sure that I have friends in every neighborhood that knows I'm still selling, and looking at buyers that are looking as well.
Oh, that's great. Good. Well, hey, some really good points here. Again, she is intentional. Tammy, for those of you that are just listening in, we have on here Tammy Manning. She's out of South Texas, kind of in that
Central Texas.
Austin,
Central Texas.
rural area.
Yeah.
and and she's sharing about her daily rituals, one on her daily commitments, and two, time blocking, and not afraid to pick up the phone and call people to see, hey, is this a good time to thinking about selling, and picking up the phone and following up with prospects is really key. uh, One thing that I want to remind everybody is a couple things. So first off, if you have a question for me or a question for Tammy and you're watching this after the fact, you just shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. If you know of somebody that would be a great guest on our podcast, please shoot me an email and we'd be happy to talk to you or talk to them about it. You might be a great guest. You might have an inspirational story like Tammy, and we want to hear about it. We want you to potentially share it with others. Again, if you are interested in some swag, the holidays are coming up. Right now I'm wearing my location
Oh,
t-shirt. It's a great conversational starter. People at the gym, people at your kids' ball game, they'll know what you do for a living. With location, and you can find that at luxuryspecialistgear.com, luxuryspecialistgear.com. We got male, we got female, we got different sizes, long sleeves and hoodies and different colors as well. Go to luxuryspecialistgear.com, luxuryspecialistgear.com. Uh, Tammy, what's next? What can you share that you are looking to do in 2023, or tweak, alter, improve? Anything we can do to help you?
yeah. I think you're already helping by having a luxury class in Houston next week. I've got some business partners that are coming that way
Oh, good.
to take advantage of that.
You can come in as my guest, okay?
Okay, all
Seriously.
right. Well, they asked me if I would ride along, and I was like, "Let me think about this. Let
All
me
right.
think
Well,
about this."
you can no charge. You come along as
Thank
my
you.
guest.
It would be fun. It would be
Yeah.
fun. And anybody that's listening to this, guys, I'm telling you, it's worth the time. I can't say enough great things about Michael and his enthusiasm and what he shares, and he just takes everything he knows and he gives it to you, and it's priceless. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you so much. And
Yeah.
I do want to see this video that you did at that property,
Okay.
2.5. So send that afterwards.
I will.
Uh, we'll,
Uh,
we'll, we'll,
the
we'll
big thing
brag
about
on
2023 is I want 35 million in sales next year. That's my push.
it.
Um,
And where will you be this year?
I'll be upwards of 20 million.
Okay. Awesome. And last year?
Last year, 16 million.
Okay. How many transactions for 16 million last year?
Um,
Approximately.
I think it was 48.
Okay.
I think it's
48,
48.
48 for 16 million. How many for 20 million this year?
Oh, gosh, I don't even know. I haven't even looked.
Approximate, if you had to
I would
guess.
say around 25 to 30.
Okay. So let's just call it 25. So this year you're doing about half the volume. Okay.
Yes.
As
Price
far as
point went up.
transactions,
Yep.
48 deals in 2021, about 25, this year, and you increased your volume, your actual volume by 20%. You made 20% more this year, and you sold about half as many properties. So that's working smarter, not harder. One of my good friends in Orlando, Aaron Ludin, who runs Orlando Real Producers, just had on a panel where he had sell 100 homes a year. And he had these people that sell 100 homes a year, and they were team leaders. And this is not a knock on them; they were doing some really great things. But the point is, I said, hey, if you're ever interested in having someone teach how you don't have to sell 100 homes a year, and in some cases maybe make the same or more than these other people, let me know. And that's really our goal for you, is to
Yes.
diversify your portfolio as the shift occurs in many markets, as there's some turbulence. you know Tammy's increasing her average sale price, but she still has to do some entry and average price, because maybe those are going to be selling in 2023. And if she puts all her eggs in one basket, then she might, decrease in volume next year. So make sure, that's my goal. My suggestion to you, Tammy, is to make sure you still diversify a little bit.
I agree with that. I agree with that. We saw in last year's market a few luxury agents in our area that only do luxury. They hurt last year. They hurt really bad, and because there wasn't a market, that we were low on inventory. And so I'm very diversified. And if it's a certain price point or type of home that is not my specialty anymore, I am real quick to refer it out to another agent and assist them, teach them, help them, and be a part of that transaction with them. But I'm teaching them the marketing side, and it's giving them, that starter to move up as well.
No, that's great. And uh, tell me a little bit about, and you might have just hit the nail on the head there, but you mentioned to me offline that you are being more selective as well as an agent. So if maybe one of these trailer houses comes on, and in the past you'd scoop it up. Now does that look like? Are you
Yeah, I'm
referring
I'm
out?
referring it out. Yeah, so we have an agent on our a part of a business partner with our team that she loves them, and that's her specialty, and she just gobbles them up. She's really good at it, so I just refer it over to her. I get a kickback on the referral, and they're taken care of,
Yep.
and it's a win-win.
Yeah, and our industry is one of the very few that you can make introductions and legally take a referral fee versus a kickback. Kickback is Chicago style. Legal referral fees. Just want to remind everybody listening, that's the benefit of being one licensed real estate agent to another.
Yeah,
So, hey, some really great gold in this interview, Tammy. I greatly appreciate what you're doing.
thank you,
Keep raising the bar, and I'm here as a resource if you
thank
need
you.
help. Okay.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for everything. And I might see you next week. I'll see if I can figure it out.
Please come on by. You're more than
Okay.
welcome.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, Tammy Manning. Oh, by the way, Tammy's website is just simple. It's Tammy Manning. I'll put it on the screen for those that are watching. It's Tammy Manning, TAMMY Manning, MANNING.com. TammyManning.com. Check it out. If you have a referral, reach out to her, tell her I sent you, and she'll greatly appreciate it, and she'll take care. Give them the nice Southern Texas welcome, and it's great down there. Greatly appreciate it. I'm actually, my family and I are headed to the Frisco area in Denton for Thanksgiving break, and we're excited about that. And of course, the time this comes out, we just missed Thanksgiving, and so this is, I believe, December 1st is when this is heading out. So I appreciate everybody for listening. Tammy's doing some great things, and let her be an inspiration to you. Just a quick recap, some big key takeaways Tammy shared. Number one is your daily commitments. Having an accountability partner or partners and doing some daily commitments. Not goals, because goals can move and shift and obstacles come in, but commitments. You are committed. So, what are you going to commit to personally, and what are you going to commit to business wise today? And then let that person know each day how you did on yesterday's commitments. And then time blocking, putting the phone on mute, telling your assistant, hey, I got to work on some things, don't interrupt me, whatever it might be, is going to be key. Again, my name is Michael Afito. Wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching, keep raising the bar. And if you're getting value from this podcast and we've earned a 5-star review, please leave us a review on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Same thing if you got our book and you've read our book and you see value and it's a 5-star review that we've earned, please leave us one on Amazon. With that being said, my name is Michael Afito. Keep raising the bar. And oh, by the way, next week I'm going to be doing a training through Lux VT. Check it out. You can go to our website, luxurylistingspecialist.com. Click on the upcoming events tab, and you'll see what we are going to be teaching next week at the Lux VT training. Michael Afito, make it a great day. Until next time, you're listening to another episode of the Luxury Listing Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Afito. Make it a great day, and don't forget to prove others wrong. Take care.